The Florida Department of Transportation is an executive agency, which means it reports directly to the governor. FDOT's primary statutory responsibility is to coordinate the planning and development of a safe, viable, and balanced state transportation system serving all the regions of the state and to assure the compatibility of all components, including multimodal facilities. Coming up on Polk Place, we'll discuss their latest program. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Brian Lacey, and a first for Polk Place. Joining us via Skype is Zachary Birch. He's the communications manager for FDOT District 1. Zachary, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me and giving me an opportunity to speak with you and provide a little information to the folks here in Polk County.
Zach, I want to talk a little bit about MCORES. What exactly is it?
MCORES stands for the Multi-Use Corridors of Regional Economic Significance. It's a set of 3 corridors that was created back in 2019, specifically tasked the department with looking at these 3 corridors and what their possibilities are going forward. The one that's of the most interest to folks here in Polk County is going to be the Southwest to Central Florida Connector, which looks at the 9-county area between Collier County and Polk County. And the real purpose of MCORES is to look at revitalizing rural communities, encouraging job creation, and promoting regional connectivity while protecting and ensuring the future of our environmental and natural resources.
Now, who's on the task force and what is it all about?
The task force is made up of 47 members. They represent different environmental groups, business organizations, local governments, state agencies, and other organizations from each of the 9 counties. And specifically here in Polk County, the 2 elected officials that are on the board is Polk County Commissioner Rick Wilson, who represents the local governments in Polk County, and Winter Haven Mayor Pro Tem Nat Birdsong, who represents the Polk TPO, which is the Transportation Planning Organization for Polk County.
How is MCORES keeping task force members and the community engaged during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, well, certainly as COVID-19 began to impact Florida and really the country and the world, we had to adapt and kind of look at how we could continue to do this outreach to the task force members, but as well as to the public. And so during the spring and the summer months, we've had 4 virtual webinars where we provided information to the task force. We had subject matter experts speak to the task force members and certainly to the public as well. It provided the task force members an opportunity to provide information and questions, suggestions, and requests for information to the department as well. And it certainly gave the public a chance to. Each of those meetings had a public comment period where the public could speak to the department, but as well to the task force members and to other members of the public, because these were certainly all available to be watched by anyone. And so it's provided that opportunity to the public. But even aside from the meetings themselves, we've continued to, as we have throughout the process, to accept any comments, questions, suggestions from the public at any time. The 2 main ways that folks can do that would be through the website, which is floridamcores.com. If you go to contact us, you can go to a comment form where you can submit comments, questions, suggestions at any time outside of the meetings, in between meetings, even when there's not a future one scheduled. And as well also via email. So there's an email address that's out there, which is fdot.listens@dot.state.fl.us. And from that email address, you can submit the same kind of comments, questions, suggestions that you have that you could have said at the task force meetings themselves, that you could do through the website. You can also do it through email. So Public participation is critical in any DOT project, and certainly MCORES is no exception. We feel very confident that we've provided a lot of opportunities for folks, and will continue to throughout the rest of the process.
Tell me what meetings are coming up.
Sure. So as I mentioned, we've had 4 webinars recently since the impacts of COVID-19 have come in. Prior to that, we had a number of in-person meetings, including a number of them in Polk County, in Lakeland, as well as in Bartow. And so coming up, our next scheduled one is July 23rd. Registration starts at 9 o'clock. The meeting itself will start at about 10 o'clock. And we'll be providing some more details, specifics on the meeting here in the near future. So I would suggest that everyone checks in on the FloridaMCORES.com website, as well as the social media accounts, the Facebook account for the MCORES project, as well as for the department. We have a Facebook and a Twitter, and we'll certainly be placing all the information for that upcoming meeting on all those platforms.
Tell us a little bit about the process, and when's the process to be completed?
So currently we're in the task force process, which is where we have all the task force members around to each of the meetings. They provide input. Their main goal is to develop the guiding principles that will go forward with this project if it continues to go forward. And ultimately we'll develop a final report based on the task force members' input, as well as the public input. And the data collection and whatnot that's done by the department. That is scheduled to be done by the deadline, which is November 15th of this year. And so we'll continue to do what we need to do and work with the task force members, as well as with the public, to make sure that we meet that deadline and submit that report to the governor and the legislature by the 15th of November.
Zach, I want to thank you for joining us on Polk Place, and really a really great interview via Skype.
Yeah, thanks again, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to provide this information. And again, we would encourage anyone from the public to participate in one of the upcoming meetings, or to send in any questions or comments that you have on either the website or the email. But thanks again for giving me this opportunity.
Multi-use corridors of regional economic significance, MCORES. The program is intended to revitalize rural communities, encourage job creation, and provide regional connectivity while leveraging technology, enhancing the quality of life and public safety, and protecting the environment and natural resources. The program was signed into law by Governor Ron DeSantis on May 17, 2019. The Florida Department of Transportation is assigned with assembling the task forces to study 3 specific corridors. Now, if you need more information, you can look them up on the web at www.floridamcores.com.